Who is the greatest of all time? A debate that's been raging on since pretty much the dawn of modern civilization. It's also a debate that will likely never have a definitive conclusion. The reasoning for this being that the criteria that people use to categorize who they believe to be the GOAT will always vary tremendously. Lionel Messi can't be the GOAT because he hasn't won anything with Argentina. Cristiano Ronaldo can't be the GOAT because Lionel Messi exists. Pele can't be the GOAT because he never played in Europe. Nicholas Bettner can't be the GOAT because... You know what? I can't think of an actual reason for... Anyway, today's video isn't about my opinion. Instead, it's about the opinions of probably the people most qualified to weigh in on the debate, the players and managers of world football themselves. I've compiled a list of 25 of football's biggest personalities and performers over the past few decades and their opinions when the question of the day was posed to them. So hopefully by the end of this video, we may be one step closer to finding out who the actual GOAT is. Probably not, but it's good fun, isn't it? With that being said, who is the greatest of all time? Yo, what's up everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Full transparency, the inspiration for today's video came from a similar video I was watching some time ago from Jimmy Highroller on NBA players. Shout out to Jimmy, even if you don't like basketball, that channel is incredible. Anyway, really quick, if you like what you see, do feel free to give this video a thumbs up, but as always, if you don't, no worries, no pressure. Alright, let's jump right in. Seeing as this is a greatest of all time debate, I thought why not kick things off with the two aliens of recent football history. For a man that I would say most people would pick as their guy, Messi himself doesn't share that sentiment. Although he stated his adoration for several legends and even looked up to Pablo Aimar as a kid, he's only ever spoken with absolute certainty about one player. Just prior to the 2018 World Cup, Messi name-dropped the late great Diego Maradona as the best to ever do it. Even if I played for a million years, I'd never come close to Maradona. He's the greatest there's ever been. On the other hand, CR7's pick isn't all that surprising. This question has been posed to him several times over the years and his answer has pretty much been the same each time.
Who's the best player in the world ever?
For me, the best player in the world ever, Diego Maradona.
Me.
Jumping back a few generations and we have Pele and Maradona. As we all know, to this day, Pele counts each and every goal that he scored throughout his career in his overall tally, friendlies included, refusing to relinquish any records that may tarnish his legacy. Regardless of how many may perceive the man nowadays, there's no denying that he is an absolute legend. 3 World Cup trophies tells you all you really need to know. Unsurprisingly, he believes the same, choosing himself as the best ever. In an interview with Marca in 2015, the man went on to say, "Please forgive my lack of modesty, but I've never seen a player as good as Pele was in 1970. Fair enough. As for the golden boy Diego Maradona, you would think the most obvious answer on his part was one of either himself or his fellow countryman Lionel Messi. However, as recently as 2019, his pick was one that many modern fans might not state in today's day and age: Alfredo Di Stefano. He once stated, "I think the best was Di Stefano. He was superior to everyone, even me." Backtracking to my earlier comments, technically Di Stefano did share nationalities with Maradona as he was born in Buenos Aires. He even represented both the Spanish and Argentine national teams. It's pretty interesting. Speaking of Di Stefano, we can't be 100% sure who he thought the greatest ever really was. In 2012, he stated that he felt Pele was a cut above the rest. However, following the unfortunate passing of Eusebio in 2014, Di Stefano stated that the late Portuguese legend will always be the best player of all time. So for this list, I'll just note that one down as Eusebio. And being the type of guy to return the favor, when stating who he thought was the greatest ever, Eusebio said that he believed it was none other than Alfredo Di Stefano. You just love to see it, don't you? Ferenc Puskás, Di Stefano's former teammate and fellow Real Madrid legend, also sang high praise for him. He even went as far as calling him the greatest player of all time, although that was only because he refused to classify Pele as a player. To Puskás, and I quote, "Pele was above that." So basically the answer here is Pele. Sir Alex Ferguson, my pick for the greatest manager of all time, is a man that's coached the best of the best. Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Eric Jemba, all legends in their own right. Despite that, in his eyes, the greatest to ever do it was Pele.
Who's the best player you ever saw?
Oh, I'm a Pele fan from way back as a kid, and also it's this great debate about Pele and Maradona.
Right.
But I was brought up in the
So Pele for you.
Yeah, Pele for me.
Despite their connection as Manchester United legends, Sir Bobby Charlton thought differently. In his eyes, Di Stefano was the main guy. In Charlton's own words, Di Stefano was the most intelligent and complete player that he had ever seen. from one legend to another, when it comes to the father of modern football, Johan Cruyff was pretty consistent with his choices of who he thought the best was. You guessed it, Pele. Cruyff even went as far as to say the Brazilian was the only player who surpassed the boundaries of logic. Pep Guardiola, probably Cruyff's most successful student and also the orchestrator of Barcelona's most successful period in history to date, gets asked this question far too frequently in my opinion. I say this because his answer is always the same. Like, seriously, every single time.
Messi, Lionel Messi. Messi, the best is Messi.
Sticking with the theme of Barcelona legends, over the years, Andres Iniesta is another player that's given more than one player GOAT status in the past. As you can imagine, playing with Lionel Messi for 14 years led him to state that he was the best player he ever saw take to the pitch. However, he has also stated in the past that he believes the Prince of Denmark, Michael Laudrup, is the greatest. And seeing as he has cited the Dane as his personal inspiration early on in life, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to Laudrup. Keeping it Spanish, Vicente del Bosque, the most successful manager in Spanish national team history, has only ever named one man as the best player of all time. It's Lionel Messi, in case you were wondering. Jose Mourinho, one of the most respectable managers out there and also a manager that has won not one, not two, but
3 premierships,
maintains that the best player he has ever seen was Ronaldo Nazario.
The best football player I have ever seen on a pitch. Ronaldo Nazario. Something incredible.
He even claims him to be the real Ronaldo. That's tough. R9, on the other hand, has given conflicting statements over the years. All the way back in 1997, he noted that Zico had to be the best player that he's ever seen, which makes sense, seeing as Zico is a legend for Flamengo, the club Ronaldo supported as a child. But as recently as 2020, he stated that the title of greatest is only contested between Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Pele, and Maradona. This one isn't definitive, but seeing as he said in the past that Messi is his favorite player to watch, we're going to give this one to Messi. On the opposite side of the spectrum, in a completely unbiased pick, of course, R9's former Real Madrid teammate Zinedine Zidane felt that Cristiano Ronaldo was the greatest to ever do it. This makes complete sense when you remember that he had the best view of them all as CR7 ravaged the Champions League for years on end. Another Real Madrid manager and former player who is probably a bit underrated for the career that he had as an active player, Carlo Ancelotti, understandably felt the same. He stated that CR7 was the best player that he ever coached, and Ancelotti has coached a long list of legendary players: Zinedine Zidane, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Kaká, and Paolo Maldini, to name a few. He's even publicly picked Ronaldo over Messi. However, he has said in the past that he would have loved to coach Messi to compare the two to one another. In any case, this one goes to Ronaldo. And on the subject of players that Ancelotti has coached, let's see what Maldini had to say. He didn't say it directly, but in 2017, he labeled Maradona as the best player that he's ever played against. However, all the way back in 2015, although they never played one another, he noted that Messi was overtaking Maradona, so we'll count that as a stamp of approval for Messi. On to another Italian, and the legendary Gianluigi Buffon felt that R9 was the guy. He not only claimed that Ronaldo was the best player he ever faced, but that he never thought that a single human could have all the gifts that he had. Fabio Capello weighed in on the debate in 2020, saying that the magic man Lionel Messi was a player that he wanted to sign at Juventus back when Messi was 17. So it was hardly surprising when he said that he felt Lionel Messi was the best footballer in history. Speaking of managers that almost signed players,
we speak about Ronaldo. He was at our training ground with our shirt. We speak about Mbappé. I was at his home when he was undecided to extend his contract in Monaco. Could have come to Arsenal for free.
Arsene Wenger, who also tried to sign Messi when he was a teenager, of course, also ranks him at the top of footballing history. And for the sake of the memes, as of June 2021, here is an updated list of all the best players that Wenger almost signed at Arsenal. Now, I'd like to take a moment to apologize to all the Arsenal fans out there. I know this is a sensitive subject. Don't worry, this will be off the screen in a couple seconds. Just a couple more seconds. Okay, there we go. Next, we have Marco van Basten, a player whose career was plagued with injuries that led to him retiring at the age of 28. That was, of course, after winning 3 Ballon d'Ors. I know, it's a bit mad. In any case, his choice was Diego Maradona, citing him as the best player that he'd ever played against. Alright, we're onto the final stretch now. Onto Franz Beckenbauer, the master of the libero role and one of only 3 defenders to win the Ballon d'Or. According to him, the greatest ever was Pele. I wanted to include Lev Yashin's opinion on the matter, seeing as he remains to this day the only goalkeeper in history to win the Ballon d'Or. But try as I did, I couldn't find any credible sources that indicated who he thought was the greatest. This, of course, isn't helped by the fact that he passed on in 1990. Which is a shame, because he once stated that his secret to success was smoking a cigarette to calm the nerves and downing some vodka to tone his muscles before games. Did I mention he was Russian? I feel like that was an important detail. So let's rather go for the goalkeeper other than Yashin that comes the closest. Gianluigi Buffon. Oh wait, we've already done him. Just a second. Okay, there we go. Coincidentally, there is another Italian goalkeeper who also came second in the Ballon d'Or rankings while playing for Juventus. Dino Zoff, a 1982 World Cup winner with Italy and all-round Italian legend. Again, unfortunately, I couldn't find a definitive source on an instance where he responded on who he thought the best player in history was. However, I did manage to find an article from 2002 whereby Zoff mentioned Paul Gascoigne as his favorite player to have managed when he was the head coach at Lazio, stating that he loved the boy and that he was a genius, but he, and I quote, ate ice cream as an hors d'oeuvre. Small disclaimer, Gaza is very possibly not his pick for the greatest ever, but for the purposes of this list, we'll take it. And to wrap things up, I wanted to end this list on the opinion of the reigning Ballon d'Or winner. Only thing is, that man does not exist at the moment, for reasons. So we'll go for the next best thing, the opinion of the man who was robbed of the golden ball he very clearly deserved, Robert Lewandowski. And I'm glad we saved this one for last, because it's probably my favorite answer of the bunch. When being interviewed by Lothar Matthäus just over 3 months ago, he had this to say when asked who he thought the best player of all time was. There isn't a single player who can be singled out. Players shape their era. It used to be you, referring to Matthäus. The last 10, 15 years, Messi, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, previously the Brazilian striker Ronaldo, there are always extraordinary talents that simply convey the fun in football. An extremely level-headed response to a question that causes such heated debates and leads to idiots on the internet posting videos about this exact topic on YouTube. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's go to the final points tally, taking all 24 answers into account. Of course, seeing as Lewandowski did not give an actual answer. We have Eusebio, Paul Gascoigne and Mikel Laudrup all sitting on 1 vote each, Ronaldo Nazario and Diego Maradona sitting on 2 votes, Alfredo Di Stefano and Cristiano Ronaldo on 3 votes each, Pele sitting on 5 votes, and finally, the Messiah, Lionel Messi, up top on 6 votes, noting that only Cristiano Ronaldo and Pele voted for themselves. So, where does that leave us? As we can tell, the main takeaway here is that the best player in history is clearly Nicolas No. In all seriousness, while many may agree with the final results here, and while equally many may disagree with them, this list and similar lists like these prove something we already knew. Football is a fickle sport. Just like fans, legends of the game have a hard time finding a consensus on who the greatest player of all time really is. Moreover, in most cases, their decisions are based on players that they have managed, played with, or directly played against. It's almost as if, at a basic human level, our thoughts and opinions are formed as a product of our environment. Huh, who would have thought? In any case, this video was just to have a bit of fun and probably shouldn't be taken too seriously. I say this because, again, just like fans, legends of the sport are constantly changing their minds and giving conflicting statements when asked this question. I mean, ask any Chelsea fan. I mean, City fan. I mean, PSG fan. Never mind. So I was originally planning on ending the video there, but I felt that this video would be incomplete without briefly weighing in on the Messi vs Ronaldo debate. Not that my opinion matters, but they both excelled and continue to excel at different things. For fairness and comparison, let's go through the numbers that both Ronaldo and Messi put up between 2009 and 2018. I think this time frame is conducive to a fair comparison, seeing as they were both playing in La Liga during this time period and competing in the same competitions. In terms of goals, Messi has the edge. However, Ronaldo played less games in this period and had superior goal per game and minutes per goal ratios. Ronaldo also scored 5 more hat-tricks than Messi. However, in terms of assists and overall goal contributions, Messi takes it by some distance. And in terms of other stats, such as successful dribbles, aerial duels, and penalty conversion rates, there is no out-and-out winner. Just gonna take a quick break. My God, these two were something else in this time period, weren't they? Sheesh. Anyway, as for team achievements, it really depends on what you value more, multiple league titles or multiple Champions League titles. Barcelona achieved more of one, while Madrid achieved more of the other. In terms of international trophies, with Portugal's 2016 Euros triumph, Ronaldo does have a leg up on Messi. Is that enough to say that Ronaldo was better than him? I mean, I don't know, man, that's up to you. Now, I know that it seemed as though I was cherry-picking stats there and that this was a very surface level comparison that was using some rather arbitrary parameters, if I'm honest. That was done on purpose. The point I'm trying to make here is that they were great at so many different things and there are so many factors that can sway the argument in either direction. Essentially, this debate will never end. It can never end. And of course, this same concept goes for the entire greatest of all time debates, not just between Ronaldo and Messi. However, bringing the focus back to these two, I guess at the end of the day, we just need to be grateful that these two legends have graced us with such incredible performances over the years. I know it's cliche, but we gotta appreciate the time we've had with them and the surely limited time that we still do. I remember saying the same thing about us needing to appreciate Chris Smalling and Phil Jones when they were together, and now look at us. Look at what we've lost.
I'm Chris Smalling.
And I'm Phil Jones.
Anyway, that just about wraps this one up. Really hope you guys enjoyed that one, had a ton of fun putting it together. In your opinion, who is the greatest of all time? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. That's all from me, wishing you all a great day further. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.